Can you share a definition of neurodiversity that you think is particularly will particularly resonate with organisations?
Yeah, I mean, there's lots of different ways to define it, as I'm sure you can imagine. I mean, we could spend 45 minutes talking about this, to be perfectly honest with you. Usually when we talk about neurodiversity, we're referring to cognitive, invisible differences or disabilities, dyslexia, dyspraxia, ADHD, autism, Tourette syndrome, dyscalculia and dysgraphia are also known. But neurodiversity isn't really an umbrella title for those things. The idea of neurodiversity is that there is neurological diversity in the human species, in the same way that there is diversity in our height, in our agility, in our athleticism, in our personalities. There's a kind of whole is greater than the sum of its parts feature to humanity, which is where we are about a balance of specialists and generalists across a number of different kind of intersecting forms, and neurodiversity is just one of those. Some of us are jacks of all trades, and we're equally good at verbal skills, visual reasoning, abstract reasoning, memory and processing speed, and around 2/3 of the human population is average in all measures of neurocognitive ability, whereas some of us are specialists. Some of us are absolutely excellent at abstract visual reasoning and really, really rubbish at processing speed, and so we end up with these spiky profiles. So neurodiversity means everyone, and those conditions confer neurodivergence, or kind of diversity within the profile rather than between. So with the conditions that I've named, you've got this specialist rather than generalist approach. Around 15 to 20% of humans have some form of specialism or neurodivergence, and we can widen those barriers to include all kinds of acquired or transient ways in which you can have a neurodivergent profile. But in the main, those conditions, we're starting to use the umbrella term neurominorities for those conditions, neurodivergent for individuals who have a neurominority condition, and neurodiversity to refer to the whole species. And that appears to be where the narrative is taking us. But it's a very emergent narrative. It's not led by psychology, that narrative. It's led by communities of lived experience.
What are the benefits of hiring, developing and retaining? I'm not going to make it about hiring. Hiring, developing and retaining neurodiverse individuals.
Well, there's so many places we could go here. One of the business benefits is kind of unleashing that performance, isn't it? It's if you've got all of this undisclosed neurodivergence hidden and struggling in day-to-day performance, then your organisation is not working at the best it can be. You haven't got people working at the level of their potential. If you get people working at the level of their potential, particularly people that come from backgrounds where they're more likely to have been excluded or ostracised in education or previous work, then generally speaking what we find is increased levels of loyalty, so therefore reduced turnover, reduced absenteeism, and so that's a real strength and value of just dealing with neurodiversity sensitively, well, systemically, embracing the idea of adjustments, flexibilities, job crafting, specialist roles. If you do that, you're going to attract neurodivergent people, and when you attract neurodivergent people, you are going to get neurodivergent thinking. Now, there's an odd schism, which is that neurodivergent thinkers are overrepresented in entrepreneurs and leadership compared to sort of corporate management. So a study by Julie Logan about 10 years ago at Cass Business School at City University found that only 1% of corporate managers were dyslexic, compared to 20% of entrepreneurs in the UK and 35% of entrepreneurs in the USA. So we're always talking about the war for creative talent and innovative talent. Well, this is where it is. Your neurodivergent thinkers bring that. They bring that innovation and that creativity usually. And the thing that we can do as employers is not have them get death by bureaucracy at levels in the organisation that don't suit them, and find ways to unleash that thinking and that kind of innovative idea.
And there's been enough studies out there that show that the more cognitively diverse teams are, the more successful they are.
That's right, yeah.
In this series, we will be speaking to a range of senior leaders who are pushing a data-driven and digital HR agenda. Make sure that you subscribe via your podcast app of choice and also via our YouTube channel for free and regular interviews with the digital HR leaders of the future.